In an interview at CES 2021, I think just yesterday or the day before, Warner Brothers chairman Ann Sarnoff, she's like a big boss, above Toby Emmerich, above Walter Hamada, talked about how DC is going to be, or I think is currently supposed to be, centrally connected, like more connected than it was before. She said like it used to be when she came in, she started her job, she said in August 2019 in the interview. It was very siloed and a lot of stuff spread apart, but she's working to bring more things together and have it be more centrally connected. And she wants to have more synergy going forward. I don't know if she's saying that's already started or if that's something she's going to like make happen in the future. But she mentioned as an example of that synergy, DC fandom, right? She liked, she was proud of how that came together and brought all the movies, TV shows, video games, and all this stuff into one event. And DC fandom was successful. That got a lot of views and it got a lot of attention, social media chatter online. That was like a really big win, I think, for DC last year. And she also said that they have, since she started it for a while, they've had weekly meetings on big franchises about how to collaborate and bring everything together. And she ended, well, there was a snippet of that clip on Twitter. That's what I saw from this interview. She said everything is connected now, and they're building a DC Universe plan that's centrally connected but individually executed. So, you know, they are, according to this, they are making a plan. I know a lot of people don't believe that DC ever has a plan in the movies or whatever. Now, hopefully they do. I mean, she said they did. You can't always take, you know, movie people at their word, but it sounds to me from what she's saying that they are trying. And I thought this was a good interview. I would like DC and the movies to be a bit more centrally connected and working together more than they have been in the past. It doesn't mean that they can't do solo movies and they can't have people doing things on their own. But I would like them to commit more to, you know, showing that these people exist in the same universe or multiverse than they have in the past. And if they're moving towards that and they're leaning more into just owning this and accepting it, I think that will be good for them and for DC as a whole. I think that a lot of this will come together in the Flash movie. I think that they're going to be using Flashpoint as a bridge or as something to finally solidify, you know, a connected universe or multiverse that's, you know, really going to put all this together. And we'll see what their plan is or how they're going to execute things in the future. Very interesting, though, that as important and central as I imagine Flash is, the Flash movie is going to be to all of this. That movie might be headed for a little bit of controversy. It has possibly a lot of controversy because there's a lot of people who don't like Ezra Miller for various things. You know, the choking incident. He's the star of that movie. But also, you know, the news just dropped confirmation that Ray Fisher has indeed been fired from The Flash. I mean, it's not exactly news because we heard about this like a week ago or whatever when various outlets were basically saying Ray Fisher had been fired. But it was kind of unclear. But, you know, he yesterday sent a tweet, like a very long tweet, confirming that, yeah, he heard word that he won't be in The Flash. And it appears like he's not going to be playing Cyborg anymore after the Snyder Cut. But he and his supporters and a lot of people in the Snyder fandom, they're ready to go to war with Warner Brothers over this. They want Ray Fisher to be reinstated. And, you know, this is all connected to the fact that when Walter Hamada gave that interview in the New York Times, there was a quote. They didn't say who, they left it anonymous who gave it, but that the Snyderverse was a cul-de-sac, it leads to nowhere, and they didn't want to continue. But in Ray Fisher's tweet, he basically does call out Walter Hamada as being an executive who doesn't want to continue with the Snyderverse. He said it at the end, somewhere within that tweet. He said, like, Walter Hamada didn't want to continue with the Snyderverse. That's what he knew of Walter in the past. So, reading between the lines, Ray Fisher is calling Walter Hamada out as someone who does not want to see the Snyderverse continue. And, you know, a lot of the Snyder Cut fans are, you know, this is their call to action to mobilize, to raise hell online, to force Warner Brothers into continuing the Snyder Cut, the Snyderverse, after the Snyder Cut is released this year, even if they do not want to continue with it. And tied to that is a whole, you know, Ray Fisher's our Cyborg, bring him back sort of thing. So I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to be a DC fan in the next few years, as it always is, right? I mean, say what you will about being a DC fan, it's never boring. So yeah, I mean, I do like the fact that these executives are realizing, hopefully, and they're committing to. They understand, they get it. We have to be a lot more cohesive with this stuff if we want it to work. And I'm looking forward to them executing it. I think they've sort of kind of done a little bit of that in the past, but I haven't really seen it that much so far. They need to lean more into it, more into this stuff being connected. I think that will help DC a lot in the movies, with more people feeling like they have to watch each DC movie. Right now, I think people feel like they can, like, I can skip that one. And I think that's hurting. And I also think they need to maybe start to make more of these movies a bit more fan-pleasing. But that's another issue. But anyways, I like a centrally connected DC universe in the movies. And I hope that they succeed in executing that well. And we'll see what happens with this, restore the Snyderverse, Ray Fisher's our Cyborg movement, if that's a fly in this ointment, or if, how that resolves. Because, I'm sure Warner Brothers, they know about all this. They know what's coming. But they're standing by Walter Hamada. Ray Fisher wants Walter Hamada gone, reading between the lines. In that tweet that I mentioned before, the Ray Fisher tweet, he totally threw. It was an anti-Walter Hamada post, throwing Walter Hamada under the bus. But, Warner Media issued a statement today, basically saying we're standing by Walter Hamada. So, they know. They know they've got a fight coming, but, they're standing firm. Warner Brothers and Warner Media standing their ground. So, we're going to see how all this plays out. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like it on YouTube and subscribe to the channel, because I appreciate your viewership, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.